Hey folks, it's Professor Finn, and we are back studying pathology today. We will be looking at Chapter 8 of Pathology and Microbiology for Mortuary Science students by Mullins. But before we get into that, take a moment to like, share, subscribe, post this lecture to your social media, let everyone know it's out there. Let's get the presentation up, and let's talk about diseases of the blood. So disorders of the blood, there are three broad categories. We have diseases of the red blood cells, such as anemia, diseases of the white blood cells, which are disorders of growth of white blood cells, and bleeding disorders. They may be present in several anatomic locations affecting multiple organs and tissues. First up, we have leukocytosis, which is an increased number of white blood cells in the blood. And this is not to be confused with leukemia, which is a white blood cell cancer. So causes of leukocytosis are hemorrhage, extensive surgery, coronary occlusions, cancer, pregnancy, chemical intoxication, and toxemias or poisons. Leukopenia, which is a decreased number of white blood cells in the blood, causes pharmaceutical agents, failure of bone marrow, chemotherapy, radiation therapy, and viral diseases such as HIV and other autoimmune diseases. Anemia, a blood disorder in which the capacity of the blood to transport oxygen is decreased, usually because the total number of red blood cells is diminished. There are two broad categories of anemia, primary and secondary. A primary anemia is a decrease in the production of red blood cells, and secondary anemia is a result of increased loss or destruction of red blood cells. So in one, you are not producing enough, and in secondary anemia, it is because they are either being destroyed too quick or you're losing them in some other fashion. So some specific types of anemia, we have aplastic anemia, which is caused by improper growth or impaired function of bone marrow due to chemical, radiation, or physical agents. You are unable to produce adequate amounts of red blood cells to transport hemoglobin. You have hemolytic anemia, which results from premature rupture of red blood cells or hemolysis of red blood cells. This is congenital or due to toxic agents. Pernicious anemia, which is the failure of the body to produce intrinsic factor to absorb vitamin B12, which is necessary to absorb iron in the diet. Eating more iron-containing food does not help because the body cannot digest it. Sickle cell anemia, a presence of a large number of crescent or sickle-shaped red blood cells. This is hereditary. Both parents must have the recessive gene. This is most common in African Americans, usually present at 6 months of age. This developed in humans as a way to combat malaria. Exacerbated moments known as crises or crisis can occur. Damaged bone marrow from crises can lead to bone marrow necrosis, which can cause emboli. Leukemia, cancer of the white blood cells or tissues that produce white blood cells. Leukemia is categorized by acute or chronic nature and by the type of cell affected. There are four major forms: AML, ALL, CML, and CLL. AML stands for acute myelocytic leukemia. ALL stands for acute lymphocytic leukemia. CML stands for chronic myeloid leukemia. And CLL stands for chronic lymphocytic leukemia. Causes of leukemia, well, they're found most commonly in Down syndrome cases, overexposure to radiation, as well as aggressive chemotherapy. Signs and symptoms of leukemia include a white blood cell count 10 to 100 times higher than normal, and again, more frequent in Down syndrome cases. Polycythemia vera, or erythrocytosis, is an abnormally high red blood cell count. It is idiopathic. We don't know what causes it. It is a life-shortening disease due to high viscosity, thrombi, and clotting. Signs and symptoms of polycythemia vera include weakness, fatigue, vertigo, tinnitus, irritability, enlarged spleen, congestion of the face causing a ruddy discoloration, redness and pain in the extremities, black and blue spots on the skin, coma, and stroke. Complications from polycythemia vera include radiation, which can be a threat to the embalmer. I talk more about radiation threats in the embalming lectures. Feel free to go look at that playlist. But largely, bodies are not released at a point that they are dangerous to the embalmer. But if they are, or you must embalm in a situation like that, the embalming lecture will give you some guidance on how to behave in those type of situations. Hemophilia is a hemorrhagic disease, a hemorrhagic disease with a tendency for excessive and spontaneous bleeding. It is the oldest known hereditary bleeding disorder, so you know that that's going to be a fairly important fact. Females transmit the disease, and males exhibit symptoms. There are two types: hemophilia A, which is a lack of protein factor 8, and B, which is a lack of protein factor 9, which is also known as Christmas disease. Stephen Christmas was the first diagnosed patient, and it was also the first known instance of this was reported in the Christmas edition of the British Medical Journal. Causes of hemophilia are low levels or complete absence of a blood protein essential for clotting, and the treatment for this is the administration of the missing clotting factor. Thrombocytopenia is a severely reduced platelet count in the blood. Causes of thrombocytopenia include bone marrow failure to produce platelets as quickly as they are used. Signs and symptoms of thrombocytopenia are bleeding from nose and gums, presence of immune system antibodies in the blood of some people that bind to platelets, meningitis, complications of pregnancy, cancer, and food poisoning. Complications of thrombocytopenia are the disease is fatal if bleeding occurs within the head or the digestive tract. Purpura. Purpura is a spontaneous bleeding in the subcutaneous tissues associated with thrombocytopenia. It is a permanent extravascular discoloration in the deceased body. If you've not already listened to the embalming lectures, you will learn an awful lot about bruising, and the two biggest ones are ecchymoses and purpura. The smallest ones are the petechiae, which you all see on this graphic here. What are causes of purpura? Chemotherapy and radiation as it pertains to thrombocytopenia. Signs and symptoms of purpura: hemorrhaging into the skin, leaving discolorations that disappear in 2 or 3 weeks. Hemolytic disease of the newborn, also known as erythroblastosis fetalis. This occurs when a child is born of an Rh-positive father and a Rh-negative mother. It only occurs if the child gains the Rh-positive factor from the father. If the blood mixes with the mother, then the mother will produce antibodies against the Rh factor. Usually not enough time is experienced during a pregnancy for it to be a threat to the fetus. Any future pregnancy, however, can be jeopardized. Treatments for erythroblastosis fetalis involve, after birth, a drug can be administered to the mother to prevent her from making the antibody. And folks, that concludes this lecture. Nice, simple, short one here. Take a moment to, again, like, share, subscribe, post this on social media, talk about it, drop something in the comments below, or shoot me an email at askbigbadfin@gmail.com. Let me know how I'm doing. We will see you next lecture.